So, we're doing this. Who's excited? Who's excited to be here? I am so excited to do this. I have not done this for 2 years, and when I did this 2 years ago, I did it at least 8 weeks in a row. And when I did it 8 weeks, oh, I know why. When I did it 8 weeks in a row, the camera is not plugged in. That's why it keeps going to that. Hopefully that will save it. Yes, I'm in your group, but I haven't taken a training. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Who else is here? Because the more, okay, American Images Art on Instagram. Awesome. When I did this 2 years ago, we did it 8 weeks in a row, at least 8 weeks. And there were people that signed up and came all 8 weeks. And I'm telling you this because I taught the same course 8 weeks in a row over and over and over again. And they were just getting so much out of it that they kept showing up and they kept coming. So get ready. Get ready. This is going to be so amazing. Who else is on Facebook? Okay, so there's a few things that I want to go over to make this as quick as possible because I know that you guys are like here for the juice, right? So if you are getting emails from me, great. If you are not, DM me your email address and I will check into that for you. I will send you the link. Well, send me a message. Let me know that you're not getting emails. I will get you all taken care of. You need to get the emails because on the emails, that will have the replay and the homework. And the reason you need the homework is so that you can really make the most out of this time together, right? And on day 5, we're doing a drawing. We are doing a drawing on day 5. So to be entered into the drawing, you have to do the homework, right? You have to do all the homework to be entered into the drawing. Why you're here? What is tripping you up? Where are you getting stuck? Are you trying to manifest a certain person? Are you trying to manifest your ex back? Are you trying to get out of the pattern of people that keep neglecting you in your relationships, right? All of these were me, right? Well, yeah, kind of more or less. Okay, so watch the lives every single day because if you get behind, you know this. You won't do the work. If you get behind, you'll be behind and then you won't do the work. So watch the lives every single day. Phil is on! Yay! We were waiting for you. We had some technical difficulties. So watch every day. Do the homework every day. I literally had a girl manifest a proposal from a guy who would not commit to her on day 3 of this challenge. Right? On day 3. So do the work. This is so powerful. And today you're going to learn, I want to say like every day is so important. And you're going to learn something that's going to change everything for you. And I know that some of you, specifically Phil, is not here for his soulmate, right? But you might be trying to manifest other things in your life. This I want to say especially today, but this is going to change a lot for you. This is going to change so much. You're going to have like this big aha moment, and it's going to be so good. Okay. So do the homework, keep up with it. You know, if you just work or you're busy during the day, that's totally fine, but try to keep up with it. So this is free, but that means that you are investing your time. You are investing your energy, right? How many of you, type in the comments one, the number one, have you ever taken a course and not gotten results, right? Type in the number one or type in me. Let me know. I'm here because I deserve the love, a true soulmate, and need to know what I've been doing to sabotage it. Okay, yeah, totally. We will talk about that. So you're investing your time and energy, and I have so much respect for you. So this is free, but it's not free because you are investing your time and energy. You are investing your emotional energy, right? You want results. You will 100% get results. You've got to do the work, right? Showing up and then doing the homework, right? So many of you guys have not gotten results. Today's training is going to you'll never, after today's training, you will never take a course or work with a coach and not get results. Does that excite me? Send some hearts, send some likes if that excites you. No matter what you do, you will get results based on this training. That's how powerful today is, right? So you are investing time, so it's free, but it's not free, right? And I respect your time. I respect you so much for being here because a lot of people, they would put off relationships. Hearts, yay! They would put off relationships. They would focus on other things. They would put themselves, last, right? And put money first or put other things first. I have so much respect for you. So this training, this 5-day challenge has helped people manifest their soulmates, have helped people manifest their exes back, manifest engagements, manifest people they have been dating on and off for 14 years that wouldn't commit. Finally, they got a commitment, like a 100, the man showed up and wants to marry her. Finally, after 14 years of being on and off. They've turned their marriages around and gotten out of toxic marriages, right? Okay. So this is so good. I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm so excited. Stay every day because on Friday is the drawing. And everyone who does all of the homework will be entered into the drawing. If you need the link on Instagram, if you need the link, send me a message after and I'll get you signed up so you can post your homework in the group, right? Okay, where are you right now? What's going on with your life? Are you single? Are you just out of a breakup? Are you healing? One of those things. Are you in a relationship that's not working? Type one of those things into the comments. Let me know where are you right now. So this is why you should listen to me. I am 45 years old and I struggled for 20 years in my relationships. And I would keep getting into relationships with men over and over again who wouldn't commit. They would commit, but we would be, I was just feeling neglected and abandoned, and I just couldn't get their attention, and I just keep getting in these long-term relationships. Single. Okay, I'm excited to hear the success stories. Yes. So I finally, in 2017, you're going to hear more about this, but in 2017, my ex and I broke up, and I was like, I am done, right? How many of you are done with, getting into relationships that are not your soulmate relationships? How many of you are done with these relationships that aren't working out? How many of you are done? Type in the comments, done. If you are so done being single, if you are so done with these broken relationships, if you're so done getting your heart broken, right? This was me in 2017. I was like, I'm done with this. Other people have figured this out. I 100% will figure this out, and I'm going to do everything in my power to figure this out. And I did the work. My ex and I went to counseling. Done. Single. Yep. We went to counseling together after we broke up for 7 months. 7 months. Done. I love it. 7 months. And then we got back our love, trust, and intimacy. But ultimately, he was not the right person for me. We And so we ended up breaking up. Let's see. Oh gosh, this is a long text. Okay. I'm divorced for the 3rd time. Talking to a guy very compatible with, but I feel like he's not committed. His communication sucks. I'm trying to decide if he's worth my You need to be here all week. Mad respect for you for being here. But definitely keep showing up because this is going to help. You're going to get so much clarity. So we ended up breaking up, and I fell head over heels for this other guy that I had been friends with for about 3 years, and he kept telling me, I'm not ready for a relationship, for like a year. And I was like, you like me. I know you like me. It's obvious you like me. Have you ever been in the situation where you know that there's this energetic block between what you want, whether it's money or, your soulmate or this person or whatever? You feel this energetic block keeping you from what you want, right? Type in block if you felt that. I was like, it's so obvious you like me. Why aren't you ready for a relationship? And he kept telling me, I'm not ready for a relationship. And so finally I started dating other people, and then kind of a long story, but I ended up having a chronic pain, and I healed myself. And then in 2019, in 2019, on May 31st, I was sitting alone in my apartment, and I thought to myself, okay, I manifested healing in my body. Block, working on self-concept. Yes. I'm so done. Block. Yes. Okay. I love you guys on Instagram. So May 31st, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, the whole dating thing isn't working because I kept getting these men who, like, I wouldn't even go on a second date. I was like, this is terrible. I live in Austin, by the way, which is like the worst place to find, like, to date, to find your person. The worst. Like, if you Google it, Austin is one of the top 3 places that you do not want to be if you're single and you're looking for somebody. Right? So I was sitting there and I was like, all these dates didn't work out. What is the universe trying to tell me? And I realized that I did not believe in marriage. At 42, I realized that I did not believe in marriage, right? Because in my 20s, I had married a man that cheated on me, and my dad left my mom for another woman, and I was just like, yeah, sure, I believe in marriage. If you had asked me, I would have been like, yeah, sure, I would be open to it, right? But no, I did not believe in marriage, and I realized that I cannot manifest my soulmate if I don't believe in marriage, right? I knew that we were supposed to be married, and so I wrote one line in my journal, right? And then I closed the journal and I meditated for 4 days, and on the 4th day he came over to my house. This guy who was like, I'm not ready for a relationship. He came over to my house and he told me that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. Hi, Kyle. Kyle's one of my clients. Hi. He told me that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with me. And I was just like, shit. what? This was so 180 for his behavior, and that I almost didn't believe it. I did not tell anybody for a month that this had happened, because I was like, is this real? I was like pinching myself every day. But he kept coming back, and then eventually I started telling my story. And then people started getting results from my story, from the steps that I took, right? And I was just like, I'm still in shock. Like, you can still see it. Like, I am in shock still from this. And that was 2019. So about a month after he kept coming around, I finally decided to ask him. I was like, I know I manifested you, and I've told you that I manifested you, but how do you think that this all happened? And he said, you know what, Nichole? I've been thinking about that, and I have no idea. And I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Who is just like freaking out about this story right now? Right? This is probably my block. After 3 divorces, I believe in commitment and monogamy, but not marriage anymore. Yeah, it definitely is part of your block. Definitely. So the thing that I want to say is, you guys are going to have a lot of aha moments. So let's write those things down. But the things that I'm teaching you in these 5 days, it's just hitting the surface, right? There's so much more. Like, if you had told me that I didn't believe in marriage, I would have called you a liar. I would have been like, no, I believe in marriage. Like, so you don't actually know what your subconscious thinks, but you can see that, like, you're sabotaging and it's not working, and that's your subconscious, right? So that's my story. That is the short version of my story. So here's the thing. The big thing that you need to know: after working with Nichole, I became a bodybuilder and ended my marriage, sold my business, and found my soulmate. I love it. Yeah, you lost 50 pounds and started working out and became, and quit smoking and drinking. Yeah, Kyle, you're amazing. Well, yeah, this is the transformation, the kind of things that I teach. It's like a whole life transformation. I love you, Kyle. So here's the thing. The one thing that you need to know, to take away, that's going to change everything, that no matter what course you're taking, that no matter like what coach that you're working with, right? Here's the one thing, is that you're always going to get results. The one thing is that the pattern is your problem. Okay? And let me break that down for you, because you're probably like, what are you talking about? The reason that I kept attracting men who would neglect me was because that was a generational curse. That was passed down from my mom, right? Who here sees that your relationship problems are passed down, right? In one form or another, right? Type in curse down below in the comments. So these things came from, like, I don't know about my grandmother or, any of that, but I do know about my mom's story. I do know that she had some issues with my dad cheating, and obviously he left her after 24 years of marriage. So yes, Courtney, yes. So these things are picked up from generation. Carla, hi. Curse. Okay, yes, American image. Yeah. So the pattern is the problem. And breaking that down even further, right now, you came into this thinking that the person, your ex, is the problem. You probably came into this thinking that the dating pool in Austin is the problem. It's kind of a problem, but that's not the problem. Once you flip the switch, right? Once you flip the switch, you realize that you have the power to change everything. Which means you've always had the power to change everything. So whether you're working with, in these 5 days, know that you have the power to change everything. Right? It's your pattern. It's your generational curse. It's not something that's outside of you. It's not your coaches. It's not the course. It's not the dating pool in Austin. All these things that you think have kept you from love, those aren't the things that have kept you from love. It's this generational curse. It's this pattern. It's this sabotage, right? It's my mom who couldn't commit, but my stepdad wasn't any better, right? And yeah, totally. Now, we don't want to blame our parents. That's not what this is about. It's realizing that you have this pattern inside of you, and that when you flip that switch, when you decide that you will get to manifest your soulmate, everything changes. For me, for example, it didn't matter that I was in Austin. I still manifested my soulmate. It didn't matter. Like, let me tell you, I was working from home. I don't go out to eat. I don't go out to drink. I don't go out to bar. I literally, the only time I went to get out was to go to the gym and work out. And at the gym, I didn't talk to anybody. Right? So literally, I had no way to find Mr. Right. I had a few friends, right? But if you're thinking, well, I work from home, I can't manifest my soulmate, I hate dating apps, you definitely don't have to go on dating apps. The thing of it is when you change, when you flip that switch, you attract love. And that is exactly what I did on May 31st of 2019. Is I flipped the switch. It's not going to come to you. You've got to decide. And if you are waiting for the right circumstance, if you're waiting to live in the right city, if you're waiting for men to get better, if you're waiting for, women to get better, like if you're waiting for anything outside of you, none of that's going to happen. It's going to happen when you flip that switch. When you change that pattern. Are you guys getting this? Which is it's kind of like, oh, wow, so it's basically my fault. But it's not your fault. I totally get it. I work from home and don't go anywhere. Yeah. So this whole week is about how do you flip that switch. I love it. You know the exact date. I know. I know. I healed myself about a month before. I healed myself from 4 years of chronic pain. And I don't know the date for that. Like, I was in bed, couldn't get out of bed. I wasn't going to doctors all the time. And literally healed myself instantly. And I don't know the date for that. But I do know the date for this. So I want you all to type in the comments, I have the power. I have the power. Here's the thing. It's not your fault that you have this pattern. It's not your mom's fault. You know, honestly, I don't think that I would want my mom to do anything different. Yeah, I had to fix the thing and turn the curse around, right? I had to get rid of that curse, right? But I had a good life, and I mean, she did the best she could with what she knew. I remember when you healed yourself from your chronic. Did you have the date? Phil remembers when I had that chronic pain. Phil's been around for a while. I have the power, right? So every time you take a course, every time you work with a coach, you are making the decisions. I have always 100, I've never got, sometimes I don't get the actual result that I think that I'm going to get from a course, but I decide what result that I want from a course, and I get that result, if that makes sense. So whatever it is that I decide that I am worthy of and capable of and I want to manifest, that's what I get, 100%, right? So you have the power. I have the power. Yes, okay. I know there's more of you. I have the power. Okay. So your pattern is the problem. That's the thing that needs to change. So who came into this thinking that, you know, the dating pool sucks? You know, put a 1 in the comments. Who came into this thinking that you just don't get out? Who came into this thinking that, you know, just like, you know, something outside of you is keeping you from love? Put a 1 in the comments. Because, you know, I thought in my 20s when I married that man who had cheated on me, right? I thought that he was neglecting me. I thought, Courtney, yeah. I thought that he was neglecting me and he wasn't showing up to our marriage. And with my ex, I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, I was like all about he's not doing this. He's not stepping up. It's not working because of him. Oh, I look back and I'm like, oh, that was so cringy. Because I look back and I'm like, it was me. I was avoiding love in all those circumstances. It was me. I was actually manifesting our relationship falling apart. I was actually manifesting him neglecting me. And I'm not saying that your partner isn't responsible for their actions, right? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is somehow we manifest exactly what we want. You have always manifested exactly what you want. And we manifest bad relationships because good relationships are scary, right? We manifest breakups because we are too afraid to commit. I fully believe in it's something with me. Yeah, absolutely, right? So we always manifest exactly what we want. So if you have a business and you're not making money in your business, you're actually manifesting that, right? And I'm not saying that it's easy to just like, okay, I'm going to manifest my soulmate because, you know, I obviously have the power, and then you like try it and it's like, it's not easy. You have what, I'm going to just pretend everyone's 40, right? You have 40 years of manifesting what you don't want, right? You have 40 years of manifesting bad relationships, or relationships that don't work out, or relationships with people who won't commit, or relationships with people who are emotionally unavailable. You know, you have 40 years of manifesting these things. And you are really good at manifesting what you don't want. That's a great point I hadn't thought of. Good relationships are scary, and business, success, happiness. Yeah, it is scary. It really is scary. Mostly because judgment of other people. But yeah, there's a lot there. There's so much. Like, I could talk for years about money blocks and intimacy blocks and how money and relationships are tied together. But we only have 5 days. So the point is, the pattern is the problem, not the person. The pattern is the problem, not the person. So when I went to counseling with my ex, I was like, I'm going to figure out what the problem is. I don't care if we're together or not. At the end of this, I just want to figure out what is the problem. What is the problem? Why does this keep happening to me? Right? And really, was when you say something like that, what happens is God, the universe, they start to send you messages, right? They start to send you messages about why you aren't getting what you want. Sometimes I get scared of things going right. I'm so used to dealing with problems, it is almost scary and destructive comfort zone for me. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you always get what you want. We're just so good at manifesting, breakups. Because really, intimacy is so scary. To be open and vulnerable is so scary. So scary. Even after I manifested this guy, which I guess I'll tell you all his name. After I manifested Marco, I was like, oh, this is super scary, right? I literally just heard yesterday a quote that says, having is evidence of wanting. And you are echoing that, if that's on message. Yeah, so I believe that every single one of you are on here live for a reason. Every single one of you that watch the replay, I believe that you are here for a reason. Like, it is no coincidence. You guys are seeking an answer, right? And I know 100% that I can help you, right? And again, this 5 days is only like the start, but I want to get you guys going and get you guys realizing that you do have the power to change it. It does take time, and it does take knowing how to change it, right? So, like, how many of you drive a standard, right? I drive a standard. So put a 2 in the comments if you drive a standard or know how to drive a standard. Put a 2 in the comments. So I have a standard, and every single one of you, I'm waiting for the comments to come up, every single one of you have the capability to drive my car, right? It's a nice car. Subaru WRX, fun car, right? Okay, you know how to drive a standard? Okay. Okay, well then just go with the analogy, Phil. You're from Europe, okay, too. Okay, pretend you guys don't know how to drive a standard. You have the capability to drive a standard, right? But you don't know how to drive a standard, right? I am telling you mindset shifts during this week about driving the standard. Okay, there we go. Bearded learner, not I, LO. Finally. Wow, there's a lot of people. 2 millennial anti-theft device. Oh, they were common in Britain until the last 10 to 15 years. Yeah, standard. Everyone knows. Pretend with me on this analogy, right? Everyone has the capability to flip that switch to drive a standard, but not everyone knows how. Just one person on here, apparently, right? Not everyone knows how. And to actually do it takes more like in-depth work, right? But you have the power to change it. And what I was doing with Marco for the year before I manifested him as my future husband, I was doing all the things that you have probably been told to do in relationships and with men or with women. If you're, obviously, there's some men on here, right? I was doing all the things. I got your analogy. Thank you. Make that make sense. I was doing all the things. All of the relationship advice that you guys are doing that isn't working, right? How many of you know advice never works? Advice never works. I want you guys type that in. Because every time you get advice, it may be good advice. It's probably great advice. But when you're actually living and going through something, it always ends up like messing things up. You actually need like a mechanic in your life. So advice never works. You need to know like how to apply everything. Okay. So manifesting depends on the situation. Yeah, definitely. But it's advice is never in depth enough for a real life problem like relationships or, you know, yeah. American Images, art, and advice never works. It's advice for relationships never really works. For money, there's definitely good advice, but you need a solution, a real solution, right, to get to where you want to go. So I was doing all the things that you do to like work on the friendship and be available and just, you know, I knew he liked me and I was just like, couldn't figure out what needed to change so that I could manifest him. Only before I manifested him, I didn't actually believe in manifesting. I was like, no, you gotta do work. You can't manifest something. So you're probably doing all these things that are good advice, you know, following the right things and taking good advice, but it was probably not worked for you, right? So if this is you, I'm just curious, how many years, let's start at 20, like if you started dating at 20 or whatever, how many years have you been trying to find your soulmate? Have you been trying to manifest your soulmate? Put that in the comments, I'm curious. For me, it was over 20 years. Very long time. And advice never worked for me. Okay, so manifesting starts with knowing where you are. Knowing where you are. You've got to know where you are. What's been going on? What is your pattern? You've got to know where you are. Right? The other thing is I was taking this, okay, nobody test me. But I went to ACC community college because I was like, oh, I want to brush up on my Spanish, right? So I was taking the Spanish class. Again, nobody's tested me. It's been a hot minute, right? So they were going around the room. Everyone was going around saying why they were taking 22 years. Oh, that was my number. That was my number. Everyone was going around the room saying why they were taking the Spanish class. And I remember specifically one person. And she's like, I've taken classes before. I've tried it so many times. And this is my last ditch effort at this. And I was like, God, no. That's not how it works. Not how, you can't just go to a community college class, like one class to be like, this is it. No, this is like, you've got to commit. You've got to commit to solving this. 100%. It's not, I know, and I know it can get tiring because like I was working on my health, and I was trying to heal myself, and I was working on my manifesting Marco, and I was trying to, figure out why he didn't want a relationship, and like I know how hard it is to look at this problem, whether it's healing yourself or manifesting your soulmate or money in your business. Look at this problem and be like, I know I have the power to change this. But how do I get on the other side of this thought? How do I get my mind on the other side of this to actually make this work? How do I flip this switch? Right? So it cannot be a last-ditch effort. This is something that you actually have to be open to and be committed to 100%. Right? So it has to be that you're going to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. It's not some, of course, he's going to come in, she is going to come into your life at the right time. Right? I totally believe that. But I don't believe in waiting. I don't believe in waiting for, for it to just happen. Right? I believe in working on yourself and getting into alignment and, I believe in going after what you want. Because if you have a desire for your soulmate, if you have a desire to be with your soulmate, then you 100% can be with your soulmate. You can manifest your soulmate. You're supposed to manifest your soulmate. And when I talk about manifesting, I talk about healing, self-love, all these things, right? So it is a process. So this has to be, are you guys committed? Type in, I'm committed, if you are committed to manifesting your soulmate, to getting what you want. Type in, I'm committed. You guys, I'm so glad you guys are here today. This is so awesome. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Who is committed? Okay. So, in about an hour, I'm going to send out another email with your homework and the replay, right? You go to my Facebook group, and if you need the link to that, for those of you on Instagram, if you need the link to that, just DM me. I am Farron. Yes! Oh! You just got into the group right before I started. I'm so glad you got in. Awesome! If you need a link to that, I'll give it to you. But I'm going to send out an email with the homework, which you get. I'm committed. I love it. I love you guys. Lori Stone, I'm committed. So you get the replay and the homework, and then there's a drawing on Friday. So you do have to post your homework in the group. If you're super private, you can DM me your homework. I probably can't read it on DM because I'm wearing glasses now when I'm like looking at my phone. So if you DM me written out homework, it's going to be really hard for me. That's going out in about an hour, so make sure you get on my list. Make sure you're getting my emails. And I will see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for day 2, and it's going to be phenomenal. So, show up, bring your notebook, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you guys.